Thanks for agreeing to set up this interview. As you know, we only have a short amount of time, so let's go ahead and get started right away. Now, I know that you've been involved in some work on community issues. Can you tell me what attracted you to the community issue that you chose at the beginning of the semester?
Yeah, so when I was figuring out what my community topic would be, the first thing that popped into my head was, well, what is something that I do every day that affects others or future? And I figured, well, I take showers, wash my hands, I drive to and through work, I use heat, etc. Well, all of these things use energy and resources. Well, energy and resources are limited on planet Earth, so therefore we must conserve them. So my topic that I picked for my community topic, is energy usage and conservation.
Okay, thank you. Now, your materials also said that you were involved in a community issue team project that focused on a call to action. Can you share with me what call to action your team put forward and why you chose that call to action?
Yeah, so our call to action was pretty much the same as what I mentioned earlier in our first question. So reducing energy usage is extremely important. Once again, what's important to realize is that a lot of people don't accept the change to green energy very quickly. So going, straight to solar power or wind power or promoting these things, it's pretty difficult as it's a large scale effect on a person's day-to-day life. However, starting small, such as changing the amount of times you take a shower, how long you take a shower, how long you wash your hands for, how many dishes you put in a dishwasher. If you drive to work, can you perhaps walk to work if you live within the limits, if weather permits? Be very wise to walk to work, as that's going to save a lot of fuel. Things like this, overall, like, one of the big things we had was, go green, recycle, because that's one of the biggest impacts that you can have for your future.
I see. Now, if I were to ask the other members of your team what they think your biggest strength is, what do you think they would say, and why do you think they would say it?
So, yeah, that's a great question. And honestly, I believe that they would answer with organization. Organization is definitely something I've struggled with in the past, and I am desperately trying to get better at. It's still on the weaker side of my skills, but for this project, I definitely showed improvement because I not only helped to set up the times and the meetings, or when we had these meetings, but what we were doing there, and etc. Another big thing to attribute to my organization skill is that when they were all done with their side of the project, they submitted it to me, and I basically compiled all of them. And this actually took, quite a bit of work. So being able to have some extra time allotted specifically for this task is extremely important, which really brought out the organizational side of me, I believe.
Okay, great. What for you was the most challenging thing about working with your team?
Honestly, the language barrier. We had a member on our team that was not a native English speaker, so it was definitely a hurdle we had to jump over. I wouldn't say it was negative. It definitely opened my eyes to, new ideas. I mean, not everybody speaks English, nor should they have to. But yeah, that was definitely one of the biggest issues. Another issue that I felt we had was, we'd suggest something and then we'd all agree on it, but we never really followed through on it. Like, we didn't really practice as much as I wanted as a group together, so that was a big issue. Another issue we had, well, at least from my side, is that when I went to compile the their sides of the project together, it took a little bit more work than I was hoping, actually several hours, because the formatting that they had done was completely different from each other's, and I felt that this could have easily been eliminated if we had a proper format.
Thank you. Okay, last question. In 30 seconds or so, tell me what your biggest takeaway was from Comm 110 this semester. What will stick with you and be useful to you?
So yeah, I feel like the biggest thing to take away from Comm 110 was working with my group. It really helped that we had a language barrier. I feel that I've become more cultured, if I could say such a thing. It was definitely an interesting obstacle. So another thing was the organization, because, like I said earlier, compiling it was interesting. So that definitely pushed my boundaries, and I feel that I'm a better person for it, and would like to thank Comm 110 for it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me. We'll probably be in touch with you in the next few weeks or so. Take care.
Okay, thank you.